Check this out. As you place the gem on the summoning circle, it lights up automatically. How cool is that? Once you have all the gems in place, it reveals its secrets. And the best part, this whole thing cost me less than $30 and took me less than 30 minutes to put together. And it didn't require any soldering or anything because all the electronics come pre-assembled. I'm going to show you all the pieces you'll need, where to get them, how to put this together, and the cool elemental puzzle encounter I made to go along with this prop, where each of these gems give your players temporary powers they can use to defeat the elemental constructs that are guarding the secrets within. I'm also going to show you how you can use the sponsor of today's video, Describe, to enhance this elemental encounter and make it a truly special night for your players. Welcome to the table. I'm Kelly, and are you thinking what I'm thinking? I was thinking about what it would look like if a chicken wore jorts.
Denim chicken?
Yes!
Is that what you were thinking? Because if so, that's wild. Alright, this build has a few different parts that we need to tackle, and I've broken it down into the electronics, the box, the gems, the topper, and the encounter. This is what the whole prop is built around. It comes fully soldered and assembled, and it costs $19 on Amazon. But what is it exactly? It's an induction coil. It's a coil of wires that creates an electromagnetic field. It's the same technology behind wireless charging. If you took apart a wireless phone charger, you'd find something similar, just with a much higher power coil. These tiny LEDs also have coils of wire, and when the coil on the LED enters the electromagnetic field around the charged coil, it powers the LED. These are very small and therefore not very bright. If you want to spend some more money and do some soldering yourself, you can get a bigger version off the Adafruit website. Or you can just turn the lights down low, and I think it'll still blow your players away. Whoa. The other thing we'll need is a way to reveal the secret information once your players solve the puzzle and defeat the elementals. To do that, we're combining this prop with a puzzle from my 10 props under $10 video. The puzzle with stacked sheets of paper that, when you backlight, reveals its secret. To do that, we'll be using this remote controlled puck light from my DM controlled lamp project, but you can use any remote controlled puck light, and I've linked a cheap one down below. Disclaimer, the Amazon links in the description are affiliate links, so if you use them to make a purchase, I get a small commission. Now that we have the guts of the project, we need to make it look pretty. Before we do the fun part with the gems, we need a case for the device. The top of the device is made from paper, but for the body there are a few different options depending on the tools and materials you have. Obviously, if you have a 3D printer, this would be a great thing to print.
500 cigarettes. What is it?
If you want a basic 3D model, I've posted one at the free tier on my Patreon, which is linked down below. For mine, I'm gonna use wood. I got these hanging trays from Michael's for $1 each for my dice tower project, but they'll work great for this if you stack two on top of each other. Just drill a hole in one, then use a multi-tool or any other small saw that you have to cut the bottom out. It doesn't have to be neat because it'll be hidden inside. Now just glue the two together and paint it black. The last step is to drill a hole near the bottom of the box to pass the cable through to power the coil, unless you have a USB battery that's small enough to fit inside. Before we put this all together, I want to show you the encounter I've cooked up to go along with this prop. I pictured this as a door puzzle encounter, but alternatively, the device itself could be holding the information your players need. To unlock the door or the information inside the device, the players need to place all 4 gems on the device. But getting the gems is where the challenge comes in. The gems are hidden inside elemental constructs, which need to be summoned and defeated. Here's the layout for the room. The device sits in the center of the room on a pedestal. Around the outside of the room are 4 summoning circles. Each circle has a matching symbol to the symbol on the pedestal: fire, water, air, and earth. To summon an elemental construct, a PC needs to stand in the summoning circle. As soon as they step into the circle, the elemental construct is summoned in the circle, and it attempts to fight the PCs and push any PCs out of the summoning circle. As soon as there are no PCs in the summoning circle, the elemental construct unsummons. If the construct is summoned again, it comes back with full hit points. This is a bit of a king of the hill type encounter, and it encourages players to get creative with their movement and battlefield control type abilities. While I go over the additional twist that's in this encounter involving the gems and the powers that they grant the PCs, I want to show you how you can really bring this encounter to life for your players using the sponsor of today's video, Describe. Describe has thousands of descriptions that you can use as inspiration for your games or read out at the table. For example, I found the perfect description for our summoning chamber. Scorches mark the high ceiling of this chamber. The air feels heavy with magic, as if you wade through latent spells. Along with Describe's descriptions, we can also use their music and sound effects effects tool Opus to bring everything together. Describe partnered with Michael Gelfi Studios to give you access to their library of over 7,200 music, ambience, and sound effects tracks in an easy-to-use platform where you can combine descriptions and audio and organize everything so it's right at your fingertips when you need it. The extra twist to this encounter is that each elemental construct has an immunity and resistances. Each gem will empower your players and allow them to do extra damage of the gem's type while the gem is glowing. In other words, while it's close to the pedestal. This means that if your players fight the elementals in the correct order, it'll make it much easier, because they'll be able to use the gem they get from one elemental to do bonus damage against the next one. To help telegraph the extra damage, I'm going to use ambience tracks in Opus. When a gem is activated, the PCs will hear the sounds of that element in the room. When the fire gem is activated, they hear the sounds of crackling flames. When the water gem is activated, they hear rushing water. You get the idea. In Opus, we can add our descriptions, our ambience tracks, and even a different song for each construct if we want to really help give the encounter distinct parts. There are tons of free descriptions available on Describe, and they're great for getting inspired, so check it out at the link below. If you'd like to try everything out, including Opus, you can use the code PowerWordSpill at checkout to get an extended 30-day free trial. Thank you so much to Describe for sponsoring this video. Alright, let's finish this build. The gems are the coolest part of this. We're going to be using fake ice for vases. I use these as Daggerheart Hope and Fear tokens, but they're also great for putting tiny LEDs into. I got this multicolored pack and I'm using red for fire, blue for water, green for earth, and clear for air. I matched the LED color to the gem color so they'd be as bright as possible. Just drill into the bottom of the gem, insert the LEDs, and then put a tiny bit of craft glue on the bottom. Just a note, the inductive LEDs don't work if they're perpendicular to the coil, so when you drill, try not to drill at too much of an angle. The good thing is that the gems come in a pack of 150, so you have lots of spares if you mess up. Just test the LED before you glue. Okay, before we talk about where you can get this encounter, if you want to use my mechanics, we need to make the top of the device with the hidden message. To create this, I used Illustrator and drew some designs in a hexagon shape. I then created a second hexagon with an inner circle to match my other design and typed out my secret information. Of course, you could also hand draw everything for the top if you like. After printing out both designs on aged paper and cutting them out, I made the critical third layer. This layer is cut out of cardstock, so it'll help block the light from underneath so you can still see the glowing gems, and it'll also help create a really cool effect. I printed another copy of the hex design onto the cardstock as well, and then used the lines to cut out the hexagon and the center circle. The last step was to cut out the half moons in the cardstock so the circles around the gems will glow. Now just glue these three pieces of paper together, being careful not to get any glue in the center circle. We're almost finished. The last step is to tape your light to the bottom of the box, tape your coil to the underside of the paper topper, feed the cable through the box, plug it in, and use double-sided tape to attach the topper to the box. When your PCs defeat an elemental, give them a gem, and then when they place all four in the correct places, just hit the button on your remote to make the whole thing glow and reveal the final secret. If you want the print files for the top and the full encounter mechanics, including my homebrew elemental construct monsters, all that is available at the I Appreciate You tier on my Patreon, which is linked down below. Did you have fun with this build? Hit the subscribe button to let me know. If you want to build some more stuff, how about this skull dice tower or this magnetic blood vial tracker, just in time for spooky season? I appreciate you.